Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Malbeefance channel. This is episode 27 of our Strategic Command American Civil War playthrough. Last episode I said that was episode 27. I can't count. That was actually episode 26. This is episode 27. So, I managed to make it through the entire previous episode with only a minor coughing issue, so I figured let me go ahead and try and knock out another episode. So here we are. All right, so last episode, major breakthrough. We took Richmond, we took Memphis, and so let's go ahead and advance a turn, see what happens, see if the computer strikes back hard. Confederate fighting spirit falls due to loss of Richmond, also due to loss of Memphis. Union celebrates capture of Richmond and Memphis. The loss of those two cities will also have a negative effect on European support for the Confederacy, which moves their capital to Montgomery, Alabama. Yep, European support drops due to occupation of Richmond and Memphis. Pro-Confederate bushwhackers cause disruption in Missouri, as always. Union develops infantry tactics level 3, smarter fighting. Union develops industrial technology level 4, mo money. There is our ledger for the upcoming turn. So while the computer is calculating supply for the upcoming Confederate turn, I'm going to start throwing the question out there, where do we go from here? Okay, eventually this series replay is going to end. Where do we want to go from there? Do we want to flip sides? Do we want to move on to something else? So let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll talk a little bit more on where I stand, because there's a couple of things I'd like you to know about in the consideration, the decision-making paradigm, as it were. Oh, one shot at him. Oh man, that whole division wiped out. I can't complain too much. The balance of losses uh, has greatly favored me this playthrough. Still, though, I feel those. All right, so the computer has reinforced Little Rock, and there is our blockade report for this turn. So yeah, now I don't currently have strategic command war in the Pacific. John Snow Division destroyed. We got to reconstitute them. Let me do that first so I don't forget. Cavalry Division spotted near Atlanta. There's our reinforcements. Okay, so Agawam gunboat. Let's deploy them here at Baltimore. Okay, so General Sherman's HQ is going to come out here to Cairo. He's going to support General Grant and the Army of the Tennessee. My Goodyear balloons will go here in Washington. I'll eventually get him down to Staunton. And 8th Corps I want also out here at Cairo. They're going to support General Halleck. He's going to need it for Little Rock. Okay, so that is it for our reinforcements. All right, so we'll start with naval operations first. But before I do that, let's get John Snow Division back out there. Now, is there anybody that I'm forgetting that I didn't reconstitute before? Oh, yep, Lunar B. All right, so let's get him back in there. Anybody else am I forgetting? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. You're going to have to speak louder. All right, seriously, all jokes aside, I think I've got everybody back. Nope, Toaster D, there we go. Yep. Let's get them back in the fight. All right, anybody else? Okay, I think that's it. For those of you that are unaware, what I have been doing this game is as a way to say thank you for all of you folks that have been following along with the series replay. I've been naming the infantry divisions in the game after you folks. If you drop a comment or you subscribe to the channel, it allows me to see your YouTube channel name, and I'm able to use that to go ahead and rename one of the infantry divisions. And so that's where those three particular divisions that I put out there, Jon Snow, Lunar B, and the Toaster D division. Okay, so I picked infantry divisions because they are the ones that I can get the most of out there onto the map. And even though I can only make one more, I just wanted to bring up that the list is getting pretty short. I'm down to just 3 names left that I have not named a infantry division after. So if you've been following along and you haven't subscribed to the channel or left a comment, please do so. And hopefully I can get you out there into the game. And I know some people may think it's kind of corny, but you know, I'm limited in what I can do to say thank you to all you folks that have been supporting the channel. So there we go. That's my pitch. Okay, back to the game. All right, so that takes care of the guys that we got to reconstitute. Let's go ahead and start with naval operations. Get the gunboat down here. Get them off the Atlantic coast. Okay, so now Franklin frigate needs to come in and cover for the gunboat so he can go back in and resupply. Now we get General Howard out on the water. Along with that Marine Corps unit. All right, I will bring the 2 infantry corps back just to cover General Butler. He needs more forces. I got to get more forces down there for him. So hopefully this cavalry division will be able to do that, and maybe I'll get a few more down there soon. All right, so we held on to Richmond. That's awesome. But we lost Jon Snow division in the process. Okay, so we're not going to move any more units into this hex unless I bring a full infantry corps down in there. We are probably going to lose Richmond this next upcoming turn. So let's see if we can't do anything to push. No, I'm not generating enough firepower to get that mountain division out of there. So I'll reinforce. See if we can't finish off. Yep. All right. So I didn't finish with naval forces. I got sidetracked here. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and I'm just going to finish with Northern Virginia, and then I'm going to get back on track. Is that General Longstreet? Better for me to have General McClellan and the Army of the Ohio link up with General McDowell and the Army of the Shenandoah to combine their forces than it would be to have McClellan out here on his own. All right, so that takes care of Northern Virginia. So let's get back to the naval forces. All right, we got to swap out Wabash and Colorado here so they can resupply. All right, let's take our second attempt at Fort Pulaski. Oh, awesome. Okay, so that was 4. Please, 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 please. No. All right, I hate to do this. Yes! Way to go, Minnesota. All right, that takes out Fort Pulaski. Okay, so as I mentioned last turn, what that's going to do now is that's going to generate a scripted event where we go ahead and we occupy the island, and this now cuts off any hope of blockade runners getting into Savannah. So that's one more port that's down, and I've got the Marines on their way down to take Wilmington. So that'll just leave Charleston and Jacksonville on the Atlantic coast. All right, get Powhatan in there to resupply. So in case anybody didn't notice, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so these guys here are on this line because that's blockading Galveston, in case anybody didn't notice that. All right, anybody needs to resupply? He does, and I need to repair him anyway. So there we go. Okay, so that takes care of the naval stuff, except for riverine operations. Okay, back to El Paso and the far western theater. I was hoping to be able to take them. All right, he can get out of there. Bingo. All right, I think I can start moving these guys out of here. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to have the regiments move up here. They're going to block here at Fort Defiance, just in case, on the off possibility that the hang on, I forget who they are. Navajo join the Confederacy. So I'll have one unit blocking there, and then the other one will be down here in Santa Fe. And then the guy here in Cook Spring, once we clean out the last of the Confederate forces in and around El Paso, he will go ahead and he will garrison El Paso. So yes, I am already considering this campaign victorious. I know that may come back to haunt me, but I'm going to run with it. All right, so now over here in the Indian Territories in the Western Theater. So it's raining over most of the territory. That definitely causes a bit of a problem. However, there's nobody in Tahlequah. So let's go ahead and cause that headache. All right, so let's see if we can pull Selena. All right, we forced them out. But I don't have anybody that can move in. Can I reinforce him? Yes, I can. Not all the way up, but high enough. Okay, so the rain has definitely put a dampener on this campaign. Pun not necessarily intended. Now, moving him in there would be a bad idea. He'd be overexposed. Okay, so we'll just try and stack them so that they're going to move into Selena and reinforce it. So at least now I'm in a position where I can throw more forces at it. All right, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to be in Honey Springs. So let's keep pushing a little bit down this way. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll be able to move up like this and kind of cut all that off. Oh, didn't realize he was still out here. He can help out. All right, General Halleck unfortunately has been blunted from Little Rock. That's my fault for moving the cavalry up there, giving it away. So don't know if we got anybody at the Arkansas post. I'm just not letting him get away. All right, so I got to get rid of Early's division. I've got to defeat them because I need to get I got to concentrate all of Halleck's forces if I want to get Little Rock. All right. I'd rather have General Grant continue to push south. But I really do need to peel this guy out of there. So let's see. Alright, so we made it all the way to Helena. It doesn't look like there's anybody in Clarendon. But I don't have anybody that can get there, I don't think. Oh, wait. There we go. Alright, so now maybe we've cut off Hopefield enough to where we'll see them start to have some supply issues. In the meantime, I'm going to once again delay. Sorry about that. I know, I play a cautious game. I'm sure that probably makes a lot of people angry. Now there's no sense in force marching him. He's not going to be able to make it to where I want him to go. All right, let me do this just to get it done, and then I'll loop him back around. But I will take Tupelo. All right, there's probably a unit defending Decatur, and I would guess there's somebody defending Huntsville. Yep. Okay, so they got a whole infantry corps here in Huntsville. I need another cavalry division out here. All right, so Winchester. Not the smartest move, but at least he's on the other side of the river. All right, 3 to 4. Now we'll hold on that side of the river, and hopefully I'll have enough defensive capability to prevent a total disaster. Oh, that didn't go well. All right, so that takes care of Central Theater. Unfortunately, we've already done Northern Virginia. I think that's going to pretty much do it for movement and combat. Yep, looks like it. This could be a big mistake. We'll see what happens. All right. However, we do have Confederate fighting spirit down to 55 and Union back up to 71. So I'll tell you what, since I only got the 8 left, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for following along. Remember to hit the like button, drop a comment, and all that wonderful stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks again.